Good afternoon, everybody. We are going to get started, so if you want to take your seat. My name is Velma Corbel. I am the director in the Minneapolis Department of Civil Rights. I'm also the executive sponsor for the Minneapolis Black Employee Network. So I want to welcome you to our Black History Month event. This is the third of 4 events that we are hosting or co-hosting this month. It's been a great month for us. Our theme this year is celebrating history, honoring tradition, and uplifting community. And today is about uplifting community. So we've got a whole lot of wonderful people in the audience today that are going to help us do just that. So I want to start with our host, though. Our host and MC today is described as the hottest, renowned, blessed, captivating, and he would probably say funniest talent to grace the stage at City Hall. He has worked on hit movies with Tyler Perry, been featured in television shows such as Meet the Browns, House of Pain, and The Ricky Smiley Show. He has opened for acts like Earth, Wind and Fire, the SOS Band, and Dave Chappelle. He worked at KMOJ 89.9 here in the city, and he now works for a newer radio station in the city called 105 The Vibe. He makes his base of operations in Dallas, Texas, and we are just so thrilled that he agreed to join us today. So would you please welcome our host and MC, Shed G. Shed, where are you? I just wanted people to see you. So before Shed comes up and takes the mic, though, we have a musical guest today. Her name is Angela Stewart, and so I would ask Angela if she would come up and perform her first of 2 numbers.
Good morning, everybody. Was it afternoon? It's afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody feeling? Great, great. I'm going to do a song that was written by Stephen Hardaway Judkins. Since this is Black History Month, just give me a little bit of history. We all know him as Stevie Wonder. And though he could not see with his physical eye, I love Stevie Wonder because he wrote from his heart that allowed him to see some things that we're living in the day and time now. So this song, y'all know how to snap your fingers. So I can't tell y'all to clap y'all hands like we in church, but you know, I'm gonna do a little bit of this one. Can y'all start that track for me back there, please? Right there. I see some people rocking, y'all can rock with me. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy to laughter when your tears and pain. Oh, it's love in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Y'all can go ahead and fill it with me. Oh, ooh, ooh. The force of evil plans to make you its possession.
possession, and it will if you let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and please you treasure, then you hear me when I say, oh, the love's in need of love today. Don't delay. Don't delay. Send yours in right away. Because hate's going round, breaking many hearts, breaking many hearts. We gotta stop it, please, before it's gone too far. That's what we need today. We need sweet love, sweet love. Heal our land, we need sweet love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What the world needs now is love, love, sweet love, sweet love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Come on, y'all can do better than that. Give it up for her. Welcome everybody. This is an honor to be here to do all of the things, and I'd just like to get the disclaimer out right now. I'm scared. I never performed with somebody like this looking at me. So if I mess up, blame it on him, praise God. That's all I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm not looking back there. He's scaring me right now, but we good. That's not a joke. I'm serious. I'm just, that's scaring me. And it's an honor to be here back in Minneapolis. I live in Dallas, and it's a blessing to do everything and just be there. And it's so cool. And it's funny, when I moved to Dallas, I've been there for like 3 or 4 months and, you know, still traveling, doing movies, doing different things. And the first thing they say when I tell them, hey, I moved here from Minneapolis, they say, oh, is there any black people there? I'm like, no, just me and Adrian Peterson. I left and he left, so no, nobody else is there. Like that's dumb. That's dumb. It's very dumb to me. So, but they always say the same thing about Minneapolis. And I love. I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, but I love being like from Denver and Minneapolis because, to be honest with you, it's the same. The diversity and everything that we have here is the best in the world because it teaches you how to deal with everything in the world and to interact with different people. Even some people, they may not see you the same way as they see themselves. And I'm going to tell you this true story. So my first movie I've ever done was Medea's Family Reunion. And I got a check. The first check I got from Mr. Perry had a comma in it. And I never had a check with a comma in it before. I had checks with periods. But I never had a check with a comma in it. And that was my first check. So I was excited. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to go put it in my bank because I've never had a check with a comma in it. I always had periods. So, you know, that's going to, you know, alert them. And they probably try to hold my check 3 to 5 days. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go to their bank. I'm gonna go to Mr. Perry's bank, cash this check, because I had a check with a comma in it. So I made sure I dressed appropriately. I had on an AP suit because, you know, that's a check with a comma in it. I've never had one. I didn't want them to ask me for extra identification. So I said, you know what, I'm cool. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the bank. And, you know, when you got money, you go to the bank. A lot of you probably got commas in y'all check. But so y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but just bear with me. So I go to the bank, AP suit. I was excited walking in there. This is a true story. Was excited, was in there, talking to everybody. How you doing? You all right? You good? I'm in the banking line. Hey, you all right? You straight? Get up there. Woman was like, gave her my 2 identifications. Like, here you go. Here's my ID and everything. She's like, well, you can't cash your check here because your check got a what? A comma in it. You're going to have to go upstairs. I said, okay, I get to go upstairs. This is going to be real cool. So I go to get on the elevator. This is a true story. And this lady was on the elevator. And I look at her, I'm like, hey, how you doing? You all right? Because I got to check with a comment. I'm happy. I'm going upstairs. I'm going to the upper room. So I'm like, it's going to be good. And, and I go, I'm like, you all right? You good? She go, yeah. And so she look at me. I swear to God, she looks at me. She grabs her purse and put it on this side. And I was so insulted by her doing that I was about to take her purse because I was like, how you gonna look at me? I got to check with a comma in it, you know what I mean? So I was getting upset and mad, but I said, you know what? No, because being from a diverse place like Minneapolis and Denver, it helps you deal with different things and be smarter than the average. So I looked her dead in her face. And I took my check with a comma out of this pocket and put it in this pocket. She looked at me and she was like, no, I didn't mean it. I'm like, I ain't mean it either. You're not going to take my check. And I'm also let you know, we got some nice names on this list. And I'm going to try my best. And I'm going to tell you, this is another true disclaimer. See, the stuff I tell y'all is 85% truth and 15% false. You just got to figure out what is what. But so far, everything I'm telling you is 100% truth. This is why, and those of you who listen to me on the radio, sometimes I butcher names. And this is the truth, honest to God, why. I was in Memphis touring with Tyler, and afterwards, I had to sign DVDs and stuff. So this lady came up to me and was like, hey, can you sign my DVD? I'm like, no problem. I said, what is your name? She said her name was Tinashe. I said, Tinashe, okay, well, how do you spell it? It's because I didn't want to mess it up. So I spelled it out after she told me, and I looked at the name, and it's spelled Tanisha. So I said, how you get Tinashe from Tanisha? You do the math. So after then, I butcher everybody's name. So it's because I'm thinking the name is one name, but it's another name. That's why I never, Sadie, that's Sade. You mess people's names up, but we're going to be all right. So we're going to get the event started in just a minute. Or 2 minutes. Okay, we're going to keep it going. So he's not looking at me, is he? He is. Now, I'm going to tell you this, too. Being in Dallas, and I have little nephews and cousins, it's showing me how to be around the relatives that I have. And it's pretty cool. And I realized that the younger generation don't appreciate what we have, And I was talking to them during Thanksgiving. They was talking about the best movie ever. And they said Wakanda or Black Panther is the best movie ever. And I was like, why is that? They said, well, it made the most money. And I said, okay. I said, what's memorable from Black Panther? You know what they said? Wakanda. Somebody else, hey, auntie. I was like, yeah, okay. But that's not the most memorable movie. That ain't even better than the movie I'm about to, show you that we all knew. And I was like, and this movie only made $138 in the box office. And they didn't believe me. I said, okay, watch this. House full of people. I said, turn that TV off. I said, now watch what I do. And when I do this, watch how everybody join in. Turn the TV off. I said, watch this. We was in the kitchen. Everybody else is in the house. I looked them dead in the eye. I said, watch this. I said, Fair East Side, far outside will say, and always praise thy name. See? Just because y'all got y'all business badge on, y'all won't sing the song, y'all bullshitting them up. Y'all here acting boo. You see what they doing, dog? Go talk to them. They acting bougie right now. Y'all don't remember that movie? Y'all try to act, ooh, that movie, boy, that's one of the best movies. They play about free Mr. Clark, free Mr. Clark. At the end, he was like, you don't understand, Mr. Clark believes in us. That little girl, she didn't care. She put him on Front Street, right in front of everybody that was marching. He don't believe in you because you don't take care of your responsibilities. dude was like, the dude said, she said, well, I'm trying to get you a good principal. He said, I don't want a good principal. I want Mr. Clark. I said, well, we're going to keep this going. Y'all not going to end my career tonight. Got a movie coming out March 1st called Medea's Family Reunion. Make sure, or Family Funeral. Make sure you see it. Is, you know, everyone knows that's the last Medea. I actually played Medea, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But what I would like to do, ladies and gentlemen, is make some noise for Miss Chanda Smith-Baker. Not yet, but she is the Senior Vice President, Community Impact at the Minneapolis Foundation. Ms. Baker is a lifelong resident of North Minneapolis. She has a broad and deep network of relationships in Minneapolis, St. Paul, a long track record of providing businesses insight and... You don't roll up, I'm still... Can't just roll up on me with him there too. I don't... Make some noise, please.
So anyway, super pleased to be here. I'm coming from the Minneapolis Foundation by Skyway, which I'm still learning. So I'm glad to get here right on time. You know, this is just a wonderful month and an opportunity to just spend a few minutes with you and to honor those that are being recognized today. Since 1976, every U.S. president has designated February Black History Month. The first president to do that was Gerald Ford, who said the country needs to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of African Americans in every endeavor throughout the country. While we know that Black history is American history, each February we pause to honor and celebrate the achievements of our ancestors, to remember their sacrifices, their struggles, and their victories, and to celebrate people in our community that are making a difference. In 2016, the Minneapolis Department of Civil Rights began a profile series to recognize African American leaders who are history makers in our local area. Understanding the importance of recognizing and elevating those who are kicking down doors, breaking ceilings, and making a significant difference across many areas, including business, criminal justice, education, economic development, health, and government. Change makers that are creating lasting impact on their communities. I am proud to have been selected a history maker in 2017. The legacy leader featured with me was a woman named Myrtle Carton, who I did not know until this series began. Ms. Carton ran the Holly Q. Brown Center in St. Paul, and little is known about her except for the fact that she was the executive director from 1929 to 1949. Gertrude Brown, during that same time, ran the Phyllis Wheatley Community Center on the north side. And oh, how I wish I knew these women. That when I became the first African-American female to run Pillsbury United Communities, I wish I would have been able to lean on their understanding and lean on their experience. But I'm very clear that I'm a direct beneficiary of their work. These two women demonstrated the prominent role that African-American women played in the civic and political life in Minnesota in the turn of the century, the turn of the 20th century. Many people in this room are history makers, and you will never get the recognition that you deserve. And many years later, people may not know who you were. Some of you are the first in your families to get college degrees, breaking generational cycles and inspiring people, those that are coming behind you and those around you. Some will run for office, others will have the courage to do or say what's needed that will have lasting impact in our workplaces, in our communities, our churches, and our homes. What I have learned is that you never know who's watching you and being inspired to reach just a little bit higher. History making is not just about the doing, it's about the being. The state of being in the dictionary is described as the nature or essence of a person. Being can be best described as one's awareness, being anchored in the now. It is about how you show up and how you treat people. It is about alignment, it is about being congruent. It is about rising above negativity, fear, and judgment, and it is about living into your purpose. I want to congratulate our history makers that are being honored today, and I want to thank you for your sacrifice and your vision of a better future. I hope this recognition today affirms the pride that this community has for you and gives you new energy to take on challenges tomorrow. I hope that those of you in this room are inspired by the history makers of today and yesterday to become one for tomorrow. I hope that in your spaces that you move through today, in February, and all the rest of the months of the year, that you take special note of African American women, men, and young people, and our elders that are making a difference in small ways every day that helps to make all of our lives better. I honor each of you. I thank you for your time and your attention to celebrate today these wonderful people. So thank you.
Y'all give it up for Ms. Baker one more time. So now it's that time, and I would like to ask Director Corbell to join me up front as we will make the presentations to our history makers at home, please. And also, there was one who wasn't able to get here, and that's Ms. Safi Halan Farah. Now, she is a writer and entrepreneur who is the founder of Studio 91, an arts and entertainment creative agency, storytelling platform, and production house. So y'all give it up for her in her absence. Now, our first one is Madaria Arredondo. That's correct? Sure, yes. Madaria, oh, it's the cop too. God! Madaria Arredondo is the 53rd Chief of Minneapolis Police Department and is the city's first African-American officer to hold this title. He joined MPD in 1989 as a patrol officer in the 4th Precinct and worked his way up to the ranks from being appointed the inspector of the 1st Precinct in 2013. He also served as a school resource officer, Northside beat officer, commander of the Internal Affairs Unit, deputy chief, and assistant chief before being nominated as chief of police in 2017. Chief Arredondo is a courageous public servant whose work has helped transform the culture of MPD and his position, the department as a national leader in police service excellence. For his unwavering commitment to public safety and to protecting the residents of Minneapolis, the Civil Rights Department is proud to honor Chief Arredondo as the 2019 History Maker at Home. I got a friend in the. I'll call you later. We look alike. If I shave it off, then we good. Oh, I hope I don't get arrested after this. Next, we have, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nathan Chomolo. Chomolo, okay, I got you. Dr. Nathan Chomolo, and Dr. Nathan Chomolo is the general pediatrician at Brookdale Clinic and internal medicine hospitalist with Park Nicollet Health Service. His advocacy works includes the impact early childhood intervention and healthcare access have on the long-term prospects of our children and how physicians and health systems can address racial and health equity. He's the founding member of the Minnesota Doctors for Health Equity and currently serves as the medical doctor of Reach Out and Reach Minnesota. He's a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics Council on Early Childhood and section on minority health equity and inclusion, and an adjunct assistant professor of pediatrics at the University of Minnesota Medical School. He also serves on the Governor's Early Learning Council and was the pediatric chief resident at the University of Minnesota's Children's Hospital. His works have been recognized by MPLS St. Paul Magazine in their 2018 Top Doctors Rising Star edition, as well as by Reach Out and Read nationally, which was awarded him the Medical Champion Achievement Award in 2018 for his remarkable work as a physician and his dedication to improving healthcare outcomes for all. The Civil Rights Department is proud to recognize Dr. How you say it again? Chomolo, there it is, Dr. Chomolo, as the 2019 History Maker at Home. You got it? There it is. Chomolo. Just getting it right. Chomolo. All right. Now we have Ms. Lynn Littlejohn, and she is the Vice President of Community Affairs and Development at Mortensen, and has been in the organization since 1996. In her current role, she's responsible for promoting the company in existing and new markets by providing guidance and assistance with business development, workforce development, and designing and implementing progressive community engagement plans for the employment of women and people of color. Lynn has extensive experience in areas of diversity and inclusion, having worked in the public sector as an enforcement officer with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights and a contract compliance specialist in Hennepin County. Lynn is also a board member with Children's Minnesota Hospital and has previously served on the boards of Minneapolis YWCA, Minnesota Twins Community Fund, National Association of Minority Contractors, Association of Women Contractors, Dunwoody Academy, Twin City Rise, and Alexandria House. For her dedicated commitment to increasing diversity and promoting equality in all facets of our community, the Civil Rights Department is proud to honor Ms. Littlejohn as the 2019 History Maker at Home. It's like reading Easter speeches. Next, we have Noretta Hughes, and she is the Dean of Business Technology, Career, and Workforce Development at North Hennepin Community College. And she is the first African American to hold the title of Dean in the school's 53-year history. Her knowledge in the areas of training and staff development, racial equity, and leadership development has made her instrumental in working with leadership from Ramsey County and North Hennepin Community College to embedded racial equity strategies in their work. Now, Ms. Narita is the former, Narita, is it wrong? Did I say it? Narita. Ms. Narita, now I done lost my finger. Let me get my finger back. Miss Narita is the former Organizational Effectiveness and Development Manager and Workforce Education and Opportunity Division Manager at the Ramsey County Workforce Solutions. She has served on numerous boards and organizations, including the Hennepin Carver Workforce Innovation Board, the Northside Economic Opportunity Network, the Governor's Emerging Entrepreneur Board, and the Council of Minnesotans for African Heritage. She is also a former fellow of the James P. Shannon Leadership Institute. For her tireless work as an educator and advocate for equity in workforce development, the Civil Rights Department is proud to recognize Dean Hughes as the 2019 Mayor at Home. See, I said Dean. I ain't messing with you today. It's the last one. We good. All right, don't mess this up. Give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have Rosalind L. Pedrison, and she's an attorney serving as an investigator with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Office of Affairs, Housing, and Equal Opportunity in the Minneapolis Field Office. In this role, she works with local governments to ensure compliance in the areas of housing and community equity and in the enforcement of federal civil rights law. She has built a career and aimed at bridging advocacy with equitable policy, particularly for those most vulnerable in our communities. Rosalind is also the founding board chair of All Square, a civil rights social enterprise in South Minneapolis. Now, All Square is comprised of a craft grilled cheese restaurant and professional development institute which supports people impacted by the criminal justice system in obtaining the financial support, social capital, and mental wellness necessary for a productive future. Now, Rosalind serves as a judicial law clerk to the Honorable Pamela J. Alexander in the 4th District Court of Minnesota and was competitively selected as Presidential Management Fellow in Washington, D.C. Now, she is also a recent graduate of the Josie R. Johnson Leadership Academy for her outstanding commitment to equity in housing and criminal justice. The Civil Rights Department is proud to recognize Miss Rosalind Pedrison. Miss Rosalind Pedrison. Thank you. Oh, let me get out. They tried to set me up. They tried to get me arrested and get sued at the same time at one event. So let's have a round of applause for all of our award recipients, please. Now there's something, man, I would love to do. I would like to welcome to the microphone my friend, my brother from no other. We cousins. I think we related, and I hope he accepts me as his new Facebook friend, Chief Madera Arredondo.
Just want to take a moment to recognize, first I want to recognize Director Corbell from our Minneapolis Civil Rights Department. For those of you who know Director Corbell, she not only realized the importance of African American history and the leadership and legacy that goes along with it in our city and our state, but she has put it pen to paper. She has created this event for all of us to pay homage to those men and women, African American men and women, that we've stood on their shoulders, their fearless and courageous fights that they did so that we can be in these positions today. And so I really want to thank Director Corbell for her work in that again. So, I'm also just proud to be with such esteemed leaders, whether it's our vice presidents, our doctors, our deans, our attorneys. It's great to celebrate and be in your company today and all the great work that you do. Minneapolis in our region is also very proud to honor first-time leadership, whether it's our new Attorney General, whether it's our new Congresswoman, whether it's our judges and mayors and educators that have taken on leadership roles for the first time representing our wonderful city and our great state. Again, we are all products of those courageous men and women who have really set the tone for us to recognize and uplift our communities, as Director Corbell said, that this presentation is having today. So while we celebrate these achievements and these honorees this month here in February of 2019, we know that every day there are so many young men and women and our youth who are making a difference. And so thank you all, and thank you, Director Corbell, for again arranging this. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. That was great, my friend, brother. Now, somebody asked me, and I'm about to bring back up Miss Angela Stewart, but somebody asked me, they was like, do you really play Medea? And I do. And I'm going to tell you how it happened. Real quick story. I was in Atlanta performing, and Mr. Perry saw me, and I did a joke saying I couldn't imagine if Medea was a Jehovah's Witness going door to door. So afterwards, he was like, "You're pretty funny. You ever thought about acting?" And I don't care what y'all think. I thought I was sexy, so I thought I'd be the one in the plays with baby oil on and all this stuff. He was like, "No, we want you to play Medea." I said, "You want me to do what?" "We want you to play Medea." I said, "No, you want me to dress up like a woman with all that stuff on in Atlanta? Are you crazy?" They was like, "No, we really want you to." I said, "I can't do that. I'm 6'4", 250 pounds strong, member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I will not dress up as no woman." They said, "This how much we gonna pay you?" I said, "Hello, Brown. Stop popping that gum, little girl. If you don't..." Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing back to the stage. Let's make some noise right now for Miss Angela Stewart.
So Shed told me to make sure I sing right today because he didn't want to shout in front of y'all. So I'm trying to be as calm as possible because most of y'all don't know, but I'm a little church girl. But this next song that I'm going to sing, Martin Luther King gave this in his address speech. And it simply says that if I can help somebody, then my living will not be in vain. So I'm going to try not to use this mic because my voice can get really, really loud. So if we could just create the atmosphere, since this is Black History, I'm just going to try to bring the presence and the spirit of Martin Luther King and the others back into the room. If I could help somebody as I pass along, if I could cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody who is traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as all men ought, if I can bring their duty to a world that's lost, if I can spread a love that the Master taught, then my living shall not be
pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. Can I say it again, Miriam? Oh, I need you. You need me. Y'all know it. Sing it with me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. Last time. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
The doors of the Minneapolis courtroom is now open. Somebody in here need a parking ticket paid. Somebody in here needs bail money. I'm just here to, you know, you inspire me for Black History Month. Lean on me when you're not. No, I'm playing. I'm just playing. But before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recognize one of the dignitaries that is here. Is the Minneapolis City Council Vice President, Andrea Jenkins, ladies and gentlemen. Andrea Jenkins is here. Always a pleasure. Now, thank you all for coming today, and thank you, Ms. Angela Stewart, for not having me run around this courtroom and get arrested. Also, thank you, Ms. Chandra Smith-Baker and Chief Ariando, and congratulations to all the 2019 history makers, and thank you to the Minneapolis Black Employee Network and the Minneapolis Department of Civil Rights. This event, number 3 of 4 for the Minneapolis Black History Month events. Now, the final event of the month-long celebration will take place at the Hennepin County next Thursday, February 28th, at noon on the 12th floor, room 1230. That's next Thursday, which is February 28th at noon at the 12th floor, room 1230, at the 701 4th Avenue South, Minneapolis address. Now, thank you all so much. Thank you. Have a good day. We invite you for the refreshments over there. I've been your MC, Shed G. Thank you so much.